What's for dinner tonight? Well, it's the best unstuffed cabbage roll casserole, meaning all the components of a cabbage roll, all the flavor in one dish, rice and meat, lots of cabbage, cheese on top. We're gonna make it together so you can make it at home. Let's go. Stuffed cabbage is a classic and it takes a few steps. So we're making the same idea with the same ingredients, rice, meat, and beautiful cabbage to make a skillet version. Now this cabbage, I will tell you, this is months after I harvested this from my garden. It was in my fridge, and I like to keep cabbage throughout the winter. They keep really well. This is of course a Savoy cabbage, one of my favorite, and I think they keep the best. So we're gonna start by, sometimes I find, maybe you're gonna say I've never had it, so how would I know? Stuffed cabbage can sometimes be a little bland. So I'm gonna start with some bacon, because the bacon is gonna add that smoky, beautiful flavor underneath. You know what bacon is. And what it's gonna do is kind of be the base of flavor for everything. But what I wanna start by doing is cutting up in small pieces. You may wonder why you're not just doing it in strips. I sometimes think bacon is easier to cook when it's cut up, especially since I'm gonna cut it up later. I have one clean hand, that's what this one is. This is my not clean hand that was holding the bacon. I like to start it in a cold skillet, in this case, is where we're gonna make everything in, the whole meal. So I'm gonna let this bacon slowly start to render and cook, and we'll get a few things ready. While that bacon fully renders and gets nice and crispy, I'm gonna get everything kind of ready that I can. You know, when it comes to a weeknight meal, you want things that can go together pretty quick. Sometimes they're one dish, sometimes they're not. In this case, this is all in a skillet, and it's really, when you think about it, a casserole. And I think casseroles get a bad name sometimes. I think people, maybe from the 90s like me, got tired of them, but they're delicious, and when they have great ingredients like this, they're a full meal, and I think they please everyone. So I'm starting with some onion. We just wanna make sure we dice it. I'm not, I don't get too worried about it being even. What I get worried about is just making sure that I have it kind of in a nice dice, but this is where all the flavors are gonna start. You may think, that's a lot of onion. Well, it's a big skillet, so we want a lot of flavor. And we want a lot of garlic, and we're using ground pork, which can be traditional. There's different meats sometimes used, but ground pork doesn't have a lot of flavor. I think it's great for carrying a lot of the other things we're putting into this, but what we wanna do is make sure we add a lot of flavor. So that's coming with the onion and the garlic and everything else, a lot of fresh herbs. And yes, you're gonna see when I have garlic that's wanting to sprout, I chop that up. There's an old wives' tale that that's bitter and not good. It's fine. So I'm mincing that up as best I can. And then we're gonna talk about the cabbage. So you can use any cabbage in this. I wouldn't use purple because that's gonna really make the color of the whole dish kind of off, and I don't think that would be as pretty. But let's just scooch this all over, because this will all go in at the same time, and talk about this. So over the course of, let's see, I harvested this probably in October, and it's now almost spring. So it can go a little soft, but that's okay, because that's perfect to cook down. We're not gonna use this fresh, we're gonna cook it down. I do take off some of the outer leaves that maybe don't look as nice, or if they're a little bit kind of broken up or not good. Those are great for your compost or chickens if you have them. And then I just split it in half. And for me, this is the beauty of cabbage. And this is why I love to grow cabbage. Look how gorgeous that is. How can you not? I've heard it's the year of the cabbage. I've never had a year that isn't with cabbage because I love it. So I'm taking the core out, I'm cutting it in quarters, taking that core out, and then I just give it a quick chop. Now, none of this has to be perfect because it's gonna just cook. So I'm not too worried about it being perfect. I just want it to be in maybe bite-sized pieces because it's gonna cook quite a bit down in the skillet, which I hear the bacon. Do you hear the bacon? Always the tell that I wanna come check it. It's starting to get a little brown, that's great. Let's just start stirring it. I love the color on the bottom of the skillet because that's gonna be flavor too. But I'm just gonna keep this moving, make sure it's rendering out its fat because that's what we're gonna use for flavor and to cook everything else. Just gonna let that keep going and finish up my cabbage. I'm removing the bacon, I like it nice and crisp with a slotted spoon because I want that residual fat that has rendered off of it to stay in the skillet. That's gonna help add flavor and also really begin cooking and kind of sauteing the next items. So it has all those brown bits in the bottom too. That's just more flavor, you want that. So I'm gonna add ground pork. We're gonna add it right in. Ground pork is actually really lean, so it's really good to have this bacon fat in the bottom already. And then we're gonna go grab our onion and our garlic that we have. Usually I would wait for the garlic, as you know, because I don't want it to get bitter. The meat actually tempers that, and it helps it not cook as much or as quickly. So I'm just gonna put it in all together. And while those are cooking, I always like to add some salt, make sure it's well seasoned, and pepper. And we're just gonna let this fully cook until the meat is ready. The meat's pretty much cooked. I'm just letting it finish a little bit. And I'm getting some fresh herbs ready, which to me really send this over the top for a little bit more of a fresh flavor and a little bit more, I don't know, something bright that's kind of nice. So I have a nice mixture here that works really well with everything we're using. We use some fresh oregano, which can be strong, but this can handle it. I mean, look at all the cabbage we're using. Look at everything going into this. Fresh dill, one of my favorites. And then we're gonna take some parsley and do that too. So all these work together to have a symphony of great flavor. And I'm just gonna give them a quick rough chop. I'm not too worried because it is gonna cook together to cook the rice. So as opposed to usually having cooked rice that then you mix with the meat and make a filling and put into a large cabbage leaf that's cooked, roll it, and put this all into a tomato sauce, we're putting it all together in a skillet. So it really becomes this great one-pot meal that has a lot of great nutrients. It's really hearty, really filling. So I'm gonna put this right on top of my rice that I rinsed well and have been letting just set and drain. We're gonna bring that over here and we can add that right away. Now, if you have a lot of excess liquid, I like some of this liquid from the meat or from the onion still in there. I want that because it's a pretty lean dish otherwise. You can of course always drain that off if you're trying to make it lower fat. I'm gonna add in my rice with my herbs. I always like to give that a stir. I like the rice to kind of soak in any of that residual flavor that's down in there. And now we can add a lot of other flavor first and then liquid. So we have a little bit of smoked paprika. That to me, again, it kind of amps up the smoky flavor of the bacon and it adds a really nice color to it too along with the tomatoes, but instantly you just smell it. It has no spice to it, just a little bit of that smoky flavor, which I find really nice. We're gonna add in tomato sauce. So that's gonna be a little bit thicker, but it's also gonna help cook that rice along with the actual diced tomatoes and their liquid. This is all gonna cook the rice and soak into it and just bring everything together. We're gonna add in some stock. You can use chicken stock. You can use really any stock you want to, because the pork really is kind of neutral. Of course, that cooked bacon, because that can go back in now. We didn't want to overcook it, but now with this liquid, we can put that in. And I'm just giving this a light stir to make sure that rice and all the liquids are incorporated, because at first it looks like a lot of cabbage, but that's gonna cook down. Instead of me trying to carry all this over, which, believe me, I would do, I'm gonna put it in a bowl. It's easier to carry. Now you may be thinking, okay, that's way too much cabbage. Cabbage is like any other green, whether it's spinach, kale, it cooks down a lot. And I like a lot in here. Now it just depends on the size head. You can't just always get the exact size head you want. So you have to roughly see what you can fit and adjust for it. But cabbage is very forgiving and it's really going to cook down. So I'm gonna bring this over here. And why I stirred everything together first was, if you try to put the cabbage in, you're gonna see it's gonna be really hard to stir. I'll stir some of this in, kind of as I add it. And you want that rice to be in the liquid, which is why I more just kind of, you can see, am able to put the cabbage down in it, which will also release some liquid too for the rice. And then we're just gonna keep adding that cabbage, which again, don't get scared. Remember, this is all going to cook down. So what we're gonna let this do, it's gonna come to a simmer. We're gonna cover it and we're gonna let it cook until the rice is tender, and in that time the cabbage will become tender too. This has been cooking away and you'll see that the cabbage now will look softer. I know, you thought it was a lot of cabbage, and look at that hearty skillet. This is a great meal. It smells so good. You get the fresh herbs. Now every so often it was cooking just to make sure nothing was sticking on the bottom, because you could put this in the oven too if you wanted to and let it slowly cook in there. I just went in and made sure nothing was sticking, because each stove is gonna react differently. I have a gas stove and I have to turn it on the lowest setting, just like you would rice. And because we're cooking rice too, but I'm saying if you're cooking rice on its own. So look at all that beautiful steam. It's gonna finish here in the next few minutes, but to do that, I'm finishing up doing some fresh block mozzarella, not the buffalo mozzarella, but that block kind of skim mozzarella, the low moisture variety. And I like to put this on at the end and let it just get nice and melty. You could put this on, and I don't like to use pre-shredded cheese ever. It has those fillers on it. It just doesn't always melt the best. I don't like it. I like the flavor. But you could just put the lid back on and let that residual heat melt it. Or to just make it a little bit more of a special presentation, and I just think it looks more appetizing, I'm gonna put it under the broiler. because it will get a little bit more of that brown melty cheese, you know, as we like to call golden brown delicious. Because it does, it just looks good, it adds a little bit, color is flavor. So I just like to do that, but you can put the cheese right on top. Doesn't it look good? We're gonna pop this right into the oven, let it brown. I chopped up a little parsley just to put on top, a little bit of green, and I mean, it does have flavor, but I think it looks nice. But look how beautiful this is. It's a big dish, it makes a big casserole, feeds a lot of people, has great leftovers. What I love about it is it's hearty, it's cozy, but it's also just filling and delicious. I mean, you get the big pieces of cabbage in that, which personally, I'm a huge cabbage fan. I love cabbage. I love the rice with it. I think it's a really warm, cozy meal, but also one that doesn't leave you feeling too heavy, as sometimes a winter meal can. It's one that just fits that perfect sweet spot. But you go in, you find that really good cabbage, which is tender now, but still has its texture, which I really like the Savoy for that reason. It's still really hot. What's wonderful in this case, the rice just soaks in the flavor. Obviously from the tomatoes, obviously from the stock, but the cabbage itself, the little bits of bacon with the meat, this is just making my mouth water, wanting more with each bite. And honestly, I think it will do you the same. So what do I always hope you do with this? I hope now you can take this and feel confident to make it in your own home for friends, for family, for yourself, because we all need to nourish ourselves. Don't just always think food needs to be something you have to do. It's something you get to do, and I hope you get excited to make this. For this recipe, check the description below the video, and of course, it's always on my website, wyseguide.com. I love to see when you visit there. Leave comments and reviews and let me know how much you love it. Until next time, make something delicious and enjoy it.